Out to the dog show over the next few days. We're going to give you a look inside the rough competition here in about 8 minutes. No, it's not a dad joke, actually, Brendan Rod. It's actually a Sunrise producer joke. That line brought to you by Alex Gray, one of our fine Sunrise producers.
There you go. Hats off to her then. All right. Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday Eve. Rod, I got to admit, I have a little bit of weekend-itis, and I think it's your Saturday and Sunday forecast.
Yeah, I thought maybe you were going to say it's the mild-feeling south breeze out there this morning as well. We do have some rain in the area. Back here is a cold front that's going to be coming into Portland around 7:30. That'll pick up some breezes and the rain a little bit at that time. But if Vancouver's 45 along the Columbia, Camas along the Columbia 44, but look at all the 50s. So it's another one of those crazy mild mornings, and you'll notice that the second you step outdoors. So to the bus stop we go. Actually, the bus stop weather through about 8 o'clock, that's probably the most active part of our day in terms of rain, 52 degrees. We'll stay in the 50s throughout the day, and by the time the kids get home from school, I think just a few scattered showers left over at that time, and some sun breaks around as well, guys.
Nice. Thank you, Rod. We begin with a proposed change to Oregon's indoor mask requirement. There's a public hearing scheduled for later this morning. The state wants to make those masking rules permanent, but that doesn't mean that they're going to be in place forever. I know, it sounds kind of confusing. So Devin Haskins is joining us live this morning in the newsroom with more details about what's going on. Devin.
Yeah, good morning, Brenda. Hearing the word permanent in the rules has a lot of people wondering if we'll be required to wear masks forever. But that's not really what's going on here. In this case, the word permanent is not a literal description of the rule. It's actually a legal term. It does not mean the rule would be in place forever. It does mean a rule can remain in place indefinitely, that is, without an expiration date. But it can also still be repealed. Lawmakers are seeking the change because under Oregon law, temporary public health rules like the mask mandate expire after 180 days and can't be extended. The current mask rule put in place last August is set to expire early next month. That's right after the Omicron wave is expected to peak. So how long will they keep the permanent mask rule if it goes through? The filing notice shows state health officials would have the authority to rescind it based on COVID transmission, hospitalization, and death rates. The Oregon Health Authority will be taking public comment on the permanent rule through next Monday. And at 10 o'clock this morning, they'll hold a public hearing. For more information, you can just head to our website. That's at kgw.com. OHA will use all the feedback to determine whether changes to the rules language are appropriate. Drew?
Devin Haskins doing his best to explain how permanent does not always mean forever. All right, meantime, millions of people are ordering at-home COVID test kits right now from the website that was set up by the Biden administration. Now, for most people, it's been a pretty easy process, but there have been some complaints. A small percentage of people say they weren't able to place an order because the website confused their home address with a business address, or the website wasn't able to distinguish individual apartment units. Instead, it would only allow 4 tests for an entire apartment building. A couple of homeowners we talked to in the Portland area say they have no idea why they couldn't place their orders. We spoke to a woman named Ruth who said it was really frustrating for her when the website said her address had already ordered test kits, even though she says she never did.
We should have the best and the brightest working on all of this, and it's a big country too. There's lots, so maybe they. It seems like they would have said it's crashed or something. I think I would have been better if it crashed, but just this fear of the unknown is kind of disheartening.
I feel like saying be careful what you wish for, right, when it comes to crashing websites. But we understand where Ruth is coming from. And we also heard about a fake email that looks like a post office email confirming your order. One local woman says she got that email. She actually opened it up, but she got suspicious when it asked for her credit card information. So here's a reminder. You don't have to pay to order these tests. Some of our viewers have said we shouldn't call them free because they are being paid for with taxpayer dollars, which is true. But the fact is there is no charge to place an order or to have these tests delivered. Washington is also looking to offer free at-home tests to residents. In a few days, the State Department of Health will launch a web portal where people will be able to get one shipment that includes 4 to 5 tests. This is separate from the federal rollout. That portal will initially be able to give out about 350,000 kits, enough for a little more than a third of all Washington households. We'll let you know as soon as they're available. Ordering from that federal website, though, Brenda, is still the best bet to get a test kit, because even though states and local health authorities have been working to secure more tests, we've learned that most of those tests are already allocated for specific community organizations.
Alma McCarty has an update on the supply and one health center's work to get tests to communities that need them most.
I don't see a way that we don't end the pandemic or make it at least endemic without a really strong ability for at-home testing.
Virginia Garcia Memorial Health Center will soon get its first shipment of at-home COVID tests to be given out to patients at its 5 clinical pharmacy sites in McMinnville, Newburgh, Cornelius, Hillsborough, and Beaverton. Hazel Wheeler, the Health and Safety Programs Manager, explains.
We should be getting a pallet of testing kits anytime now. When exactly that is, we're not sure. We know that the order is completed and it's set. It's just a matter of when it actually shows up. And what that really does is remove a lot of the strain that's been at the clinical sites to administer the test. That can now be handled at home. And then when there is an issue with reporting or there's an issue with a positive, then we can have the patient reach out to the providers and, if needed, bring them in. That then allows for other care to be provided for other reasons.
Over the last 2 years, Wheeler says Virginia Garcia administered 19,000 PCR tests. The upcoming initial allocation of 13,000 at-home tests will greatly increase testing capacity for a community hit disproportionately hard throughout the pandemic.
Latino and Hispanic population having a significantly higher positivity rate. So in general, for our patients, they're seeing about a 22% positivity rate within the Hispanic population. By comparison, our other patients are only screening at about an 8% rate. And that's, again, over the course of that almost 2-year period.
He said that's reflected in current numbers, showing a positivity rate of up to 45% for the last week.
What that tells you is, as you do more testing and you get more positives, it just means there is truly more disease out there and it's just not being identified yet.
The Oregon Health Authority has also ordered 6 million self-test kits. So far, it's received 1.9 million. More than 500,000 went to hospitals, more than 100,000 to schools. And another 500,000 we're told they're holding back to be able to continue to fill hospital and K-12 orders on demand. Just this week, OHA opened up the order process to local public health authorities and tribes. Multnomah, Washington, and Clackamas County Health Departments all submitted orders within the last 48 hours. Alma McCarty, KGW News.
There is also an effort to expand access to the more accurate PCR tests performed by healthcare workers. According to OHSU, it closed operations at the Portland Expo Center this week to allow the state to take over the site on Monday. The Oregonian reports once that happens, the site will be open 7 days a week instead of 5, and it'll offer more tests per day. OHSU will then open 2 new community test sites, one on Markham Hill, the other at its South Waterfront campus. Both locations will be appointment only. OHSU says the expansion will provide about 1,100 more tests for the public every week.
All right, here's something completely different that's happening at the Expo Center this week, the Rose City Classic Dog Show. The 5-day event started yesterday. It runs through Sunday, and event organizers say they're absolutely excited to have the show back this year after it was canceled in 2021 because of COVID.
It's really a neat dog show because in addition to having all the breeds, and there's almost 200 AKC breeds now, we also have obedience, trick dogs, canine good citizenship, agility. So there's really something for everybody. If you love dogs, most of the people who drop by here are dog lovers.
Mask and social distancing requirements, by the way, are in place this week at the dog show. Rod Hill, I ask you,
yes,
dog lover.
Don't ask me what.
What, you're afraid of this question?
Yeah, well, go ahead.
Are you taking Maximus, your best buddy, to the dog show this week?
That one's an easy one. No, we're not going to attend. What I was worried about was that obedience, agility, I couldn't do it.
Well, Have you tried it on 4 legs?
Well, no.
It may be easier on 4 legs.
There's a thought. We have rainy areas on the radar, more so north of Portland, and then east bouncing up into the Cascades. The snow level is around 6,500 feet this morning. It's 38 at Timberline, so it's all wet this morning for your travels over the Cascade passes. Here's a closer look at Doppler radar. Up here, just hitting Astoria, that's the cold front. Futurecast brings that band of rain into Portland around 7:30 this morning with some heavier rain pockets and also some breezy south winds to about 25 miles per hour. And then that goes bye-bye. So that's the wettest part of our morning, kind of 7, 8, 8:30. And then here we are later in the morning. We're opening up potentially some sun breaks, and then we see kind of decreasing numbers of scattered showers throughout the afternoon. And then eventually tonight, the shower chance just ends, and then we're off and running with that big stretch of dry weather that we've been telling you about. Temperatures. Along the Columbia, 40 in the Dalles, 45 at PDX. You get away from the Columbia, it's 50 in Kelso, 55 in Salem. These are current numbers. Baker City's the one spot here in Oregon on the map that's below freezing at 29 degrees. Forecast for today, kind of steady temps, mid-50s much of the day in our capital city. Corvallis 53, scattered showers, sun breaks, the breezy winds mostly this morning. You go up into southwest Washington, there's a better chance of those heavier rain pockets between 7 and 8, otherwise scattered showers here. And temperatures, again, most of the day, anywhere from about 50 to 54 degrees. Tomorrow, early clouds, the sun 52. Folks that get sun this weekend will hit 50. If you get locked in the fog, you won't. But the dry weather now lasts all the way into Tuesday. That's your forecast.
All right. Thank you, Rod. Also, still ahead on Sunrise, local artists getting the opportunity of a lifetime. How it's helping support the art community as a whole. We have details for you coming up at 5:15. Plus, many of us will soon get our W-2s. But does the IRS make people report income from illegal activities? Well, it's not as strange as it sounds. Our Verify team explains after the break.